Alright, so for the second beer in our tasting, we're going to go on to Smuttynose Double IPA, which I guess I'll let Pat tell a little bit about, because, you know, how long have you been brewing it, you know, what's the inspiration behind the Big A IPA?
The Big A is our Imperial IPA. It comes in, it's varied over the years since I've been working with them, from about 9.2% to about 9.7, which I think this year is it says right on the bottle, it might be 9.4 or 9.2, and a whopping 120 IBUs. There are a lot of hops in this beer, but with the IBU scale, they say that you can't really taste more than 100. So
right. This one is actually 9.8.
Yeah.
So just a little bit above. But
super hoppy Imperial IPA, but with a nice big balancing malt backbone. I find this beer to be more balanced than our regular IPA, which is dry and bitter. This is a little bit sweeter. It was the winner of the CAMRA, the Campaign for Real Ale at London Cask Fest, the inaugural Michael Jackson Award.
Nice.
This was the first recipient of that award with a version that we sent over there. And again, it's another really awesome beer favorite of mine. We used to put this beer out and people would go crazy for it, and then we started making it year round, and once everybody figured out they could get it all the time, it kind of took the hype away from it. One of the things that I love about this beer, before I started working for Smutty, is the label, which has this old-time boxer guy on there. And when I was a kid, I was a huge boxing fan. I used to watch it all the time with my father, and I always wondered who this guy was. So they used to, when they put him out in 22s, it would say Stash Wojciechowski, the Killer Kielbasa. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? I never heard of him. And it turns out that Joanne found the photograph in a garage sale somewhere and made up the story about the guy and put it on the label. It turns out that Peter actually took it to a boxing historian, and the guy's name is actually Marvin Hart. And his claim to fame was he was the only one that ever knocked out Jack Johnson.
So for the malts in this, it's just again, like the regular IPA, the two types of Turo, North American Turo and Crisp Pale Ale. And Crisp is one of the big maltsters in America. And then for bittering, we have Bravo and Cascade. For flavor, Bravo and CTZ. And for dry hopping, we have Glacier, Nugget, and CTZ. So, and Nugget's another one of my go-to hops, at least for bittering. So
yeah, CTZ, for those of you that don't know, is a blend of I think it's Centennial, Tomahawk, and Zeus.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's good beer.
Never get that sweetness.
Yeah.
It's not like an intense caramel sweetness like we get from a darker beer, because this is just pale malt, so it's a nice like copper orange color.
When you first sip it, you get that like kind of bitter. You get banged with bitter, and then it dissipates into the sweetness, and as you keep drinking it, it becomes sweet.
And you know what how long the bottling date goes for on this? Because this one is still in its range. It's still until February 1st of 2014. Is it like a 6-month date or?
It's 6 months out. So this is what's the date on here? 2/1. Yeah. So this is approaching its end date. I believe this one's a little bit fresher. But it's still,
It's still pretty bitter and nice.
Yeah. But these are, also properly cared for because I had them in my cellar.
Right. I guess we could taste it with the cheddar and see how it goes. I think the sweetness of this beer will really go well with the sharpness of this cheddar.
I mean, I find the thing with like the beers and the length of time that lapses is obviously with IPAs. You want to drink them as fresh as possible. But if not, it's the way that you take care of them. You know, it's constancy of temperature. You don't want something getting cold and then getting warm and then getting cold and getting warm. You want it to be, you know, across the board.
Well, even if this is like nearing its end, I think the sharpness of the cheddar actually goes well with the sweetness of the beer.